Hi, my name is Anubha Bhosle. A lot of you have asked us what's going on in Lakshadweep. A lot actually. Here's a fairly straightforward list of a sea of changes that are taking place in the Union Territory. Now, the biggest change, the former administrator of Lakshadweep, Dineshwar Sharma, died. So Praful Khora Patel, the former Home Minister of Gujarat, took over in December of 2020. Locals say this is the starting point. Since then, a lot has changed. Number one, the COVID-19 SOP that meant Lakshadweep had zero COVID cases in all of 2020 was changed. So mandatory quarantine in Kerala and then in Lakshadweep has been removed. Cases have skyrocketed since January 18th, 2021, when the first case was reported. More than 10% of the island's population has now tested positive for COVID-19. In fact, Lakshadweep now has one of the highest test positivity rates in India, and 24 people have died. What else, you'll ask? Well, we've just got started. Number two, the Prevention of Anti-Social Activities Act, also known as the Gunda Act, was enacted in January of this year, even though Lakshadweep has the lowest crime rate in the country. It allows the detention of a person without offering a public reason for up to a year. Locals are saying this is to target those who protest against the government's policies. Political parties are alleging this has been implemented with an intention to target those who protested against the Citizenship Amendment Act. Mr. Patel's defense to the print: if people had not done anything wrong, then they should not be concerned about the PASA. Number three, the draft Lakshadweep Animal Preservation Regulation, it's in the works. Now, if this becomes the law, slaughtering an animal becomes difficult, especially cow, calf, bull, or bullock. The proposed penalty for slaughtering a cow is a minimum of 10 years in prison, extending up to life sentence. There are also provisions in this draft that are related to directly or indirectly selling, storing, transportation of beef or beef products. And while this law is still work in progress, non-vegetarian food has been removed from school menus. For context, approximately 64,000 people live in Lakshadweep, 97% of whom are Muslims. The context is also important because in the name of tourism, restrictions on sale and use of alcohol has been lifted, and a draft regulation for panchayats that includes a provision that disqualifies people with more than 2 children from holding posts. Number five is, speaking of panchayats, the powers they enjoyed have been curtailed and taken over by the administrator, especially departments of health, agriculture, fishing, and livestock. It's important to remember here that there is no assembly in Lakshadweep for people to have representatives air their grievances. So panchayats, in a sense, represent self-governance and local interests. Number six, also in the works, the draft Lakshadweep Development Authority Regulation. I'm going to call it LDAR. The administrator is proposed to get sweeping powers, so he or she could acquire, hold, manage, and dispose of any property, movable, immovable, as they may deem necessary. This could be for town planning or any other development work. Now, even if that property had been owned by islanders for years. So what's development as per the LDAR? Well, pretty much everything. Building, engineering, mining, quarrying, in, on, over, under land, the cutting of a hill, all comes under development. The LDAR is also speaking about building national highways in Lakshadweep, which has a total land area of about 36 square kilometers. Widening the road to 7 meters in areas. Locals are asking, what's the need? Traffic is so sparse. There are other smaller contentious issues like a landowner renewing the permission to use his own land every 3 years, failing which there will be penalties on a daily basis. Other developments that seem odd at this time and that locals are highlighting is the Lakshadweep administration has directed the closure of all the dairy farms in the Union Territory with immediate effect and ordered the auction of livestock. The logic being given is that it is unsustainable to feed them since fodder comes from Kerala and that their output is not enough to meet demand suddenly. So Gujarat-based Amul milk products are being brought in and being sold throughout the island. Another thing, temporary sheds or huts that were built by fishermen to store their nets and equipment with permission from the previous administration have been demolished in the last week, all citing violations of coastal zone rules. Now remember, we are talking about an island where fishing is the main source of income for over 80% of the population. We've not got any information on whether they were given prior notice or not. 38 Anganwadi schools have been shut down. Over 300 contract and casual workers have been dismissed. These include midday meal workers. Now, when asked about all of this, Mr. Patel said he'll look into it, but that it's most likely an administrative procedure. Now, remember, all these changes are happening fast and at a time when islanders are dealing with COVID-19 for the first time since the pandemic broke out. Locals, opposition leaders and civil society members are crying hoarse with the hashtag Save Lakshadweep, and many are asking for the recall of Mr. Praful Patel as the administrator. The BJP is saying none of this is true. Mr. Patel is trying to end the corrupt practices that have long existed in Lakshadweep. His only agenda, he told The Print, was development of Lakshadweep. Mr. Patel's office says that he's not aware of any protests. In fact, the BJP National Vice President has said locals are happy with the change, and all of this is artificial tension created by certain fundamentalist groups who are operating out of Kerala. Now, whether or not you believe it's time that Lakshadweep become the next Maldives, there is merit in local demands that say, not this way, not now. Now, union territories are administered through IAS or IPS officers usually. Mr. Patel, who took charge of Lakshadweep in December of 2020, is a political appointee. He's the former Home Minister of Gujarat when Prime Minister Modi was the Chief Minister. He also holds charge of two other union territories, Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. And Mr. Patel is an accused in a recent March 2021 charge of abetment in the suicide of Adivasi leader and seven-time MP from Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Mohan Delkar. In his 15-page suicide note, Mr. Delkar alleged that Patel and others tried to extort crores and threatened him with false cases under the Gunda Act, among other things. Mr. Patel maintains he is not guilty. Hope all of this was useful, all this development in the times of a pandemic. Do share this video. This is newsworthy and unlikely to be available with all this context in so-called legacy news media. And if you have the resources, do consider making a contribution to Newsworthy. The link is in our bio and in the description. From Pallavi and Self, thank you so much for your time.